Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to have everyone here. I know it's been a week, so it's good to see everyone again. Got Garrett, Paul, and Banu. Good to see you guys in the chat here. So we got a desk full of projects and only a rough, vague idea of what I want to actually get working on tonight. So I think the things that have priority right now, roughly have priority right now, are also, what are these? Oh, that's those. Okay, so the projects that are on the workbench here that I have these things to work on tonight are, I've got these pair of RDCs, an RDC1 and an RDC2, that need New Haven decals. This one still needs the last of its C&W lettering taken off. We've got the Bicentennial GP40-2 that needs its ACI labels put on its sill, and then needs to be, continued to be detailed. We've got Garrett's Finger Lakes Railway caboose, which could begin its weathering process. And we've also got the brass handrail for my B&CCS GP9R and HO scale here, which I have the very beginning of and nothing further. So I could continue to expand that. On the handrails, actually, before I do anything with that, let me quickly see if I can figure out where. Because if I can't find where I put the stanchions, then unfortunately that project is out. But I think if I did good, they should be in here, because this drawer that I'm in right now, this is my detail parts drawer. Ah, there they are. Okay, so that is on the table. We got them right here, so that's good. Excuse me. Just seeing what other detail parts I have here that still actually need to go on that, because that never really got properly finished. Let me take all those out. I think that might be what I do. Just kind of trying to focus on that tonight, because that is something that it's been kind of put off for a while now, for a few months now. So I might, how did I manage to lose it? Well, I didn't. I just haven't looked for it in like 3 months. So I wasn't sure if it was where I thought it was, but it was. I did good this time. So let me grab a couple of things here quick. Grab the locomotive itself. Hey, how's it going, Adam? Good to see you. It's been a while indeed. Good to have you here. Hopefully your job's been doing well, and I've been seeing you post in Heath's server that things seem to be going well, so that's good. We also got Steve. Good to see you, Steve. And Josh. Good to have you guys in. Glad you made it, Josh. Excuse me. So, I think what I'm going to do, I think I am going to mainly do the Jeep 9R tonight. I do need to grab that piece of foam. That should help me to keep that safe. Set up the so I'm just working out what I need here, but let me go grab the foam. I believe I put in this box here. No, it wasn't in this box. I put it in this box. Yes, excellent. I knew it was in one of these two boxes over here. Little piece of foam. That way I can get the handrails in the right place. The crusher is working as you have expected and still failing its certification tests. Fantastic. Captain Echo, welcome in. Brandon is extremely excited for the Jeep 9R. That's what I should have done. I should have added those. All right, well, I'll need to put out another decal order somewhat soon anyway, but I need to get the rest of the what's it called? Visibility stripes along the side of this locomotive that I accidentally pulled off. Don't know how many more weeks you'll be on this project. Oof. But before... Excuse me. Before I start on the Jeep 9 tonight, I think what I am going to do is finish removing the lettering from the C&W RACs. That way they are ready for decals when I get around to it. But it's not supposed to be a crusher, but the way the test bags come off, you've given it that nickname. I see. Yes, that does seem to be somewhat problematic. that doesn't seem like it should be doing that. So yeah, that would be a problem. All right, let's get Garrett's caboose out of the way here. That way, don't screw it up. Maybe we can work on that next week or something. Let's get these things safely out of the way. Oh, also, from a couple weeks ago, when I was last live, we were working on Amtrak 4316 as well as the bicentennial unit, and I wanted to show off it is extremely close to being done. We've got all the decals on, the paint, we've got the grills in place, all of the grab irons for the ladders in place. I built the lifting lugs for the nose. Installed the splitter plate in the headlight. Everything is in place. I'm basically just waiting to hopefully tomorrow they should get here. I got some four hose MU cables from KV Models that should be coming, and then I just have to get the windows in and the wipers in place. And then later this week I should be getting a in the mail an ESU Lokesound V5 to put in here. And I've already carved away space for a speaker. So we should be good to go on that front and get it all installed, get it all packaged up, and get the right sound files in there. I want to get the M3H horn sound file in there because it's got the accurate model, the accurate horn on the model physically. So I want the right sound file in there as well for the M3H. And yeah, just get some nice quality sound for it. But in the meantime, let me keep working away at these lettering here. This lettering here. Thank you. Appreciate that. Where did my... There's my Salva set. There, some more right there, and on the top bar here. So how's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Paul, I know, was not live tonight because he was made a spur of the moment decision to go see a rather large lad out in Ohio. So, hope you enjoyed that, Paul. Excuse me. So, while I take these letters off before we get this lettering off before we get going on the Jeep 9 handrails. For anyone who doesn't know what the plan is for these are both going to become New Haven RDCs. Some of the New Haven's, I believe, 60 units that they owned. Maybe not quite that many. But I have decals for them. I got my full decal set printed up here. And I am working with New Haven Railroad Historical and Technical Association to get those available for folks, both in N and HO. I just have to do some figuring on checking out if I can get more fine detail in the prints, because they're a little bit blurry. They lost a little bit of resolution in the printing, and I would like to see if I can keep those as high res as I can get them, so that way it is a complete, usable set for anyone in N or HO. So I gotta do some figuring out on that. But I have, not only are these going to become just, I guess these aren't just going to become any old New Haven RDCs. These are going to be RDCs between the year of 1952 and 1954, because they are going to have stencils on them from the American Cancer Society's stenciling campaign with the New Haven Railroad. I got one on the nose of the RDC-1 just because I wanted to see how it would look. So there's the Fight Cancer with the red American Cancer Society sword. So I got that on there already, and that looks quite nice. But it is a little bit, it's lost a little bit of the resolution. I want to see if I can find a way to preserve that in future printings before I get them available for folks. Hey, Dennis, welcome in. Good to have you. Trying to get the lettering off these RDCs quick, and then once we do that, we're going to jump up to one of my very few horribly oversized models to get some handrails made for this GP9R for the BNCCS. I'm making them better. Indeed I am, Garrett. Nothing wrong with the CNW. But... there we go. Now the color strip is coming right off. A little bit more on there, I think. Ted! Hey, how you doing, Ted? Good to see you tonight. They're not that oversized. Well, that's your opinion, Garrett. We'll leave that up to you. Giuseppe, welcome in. Good to see you tonight, my friend. Just working on trying to get the lettering stripe off of this. We're not going to decal these tonight, because I want to focus on the GP9R. It's been waiting for long enough. I also need to finally get around to sending the decoder back to ESU for both this and for the BNCCS N-Scale RS11 that I was doing. That way I can get those sound decoders back in, because I just have a motor decoder in the Jeep 9 right now, and nothing in the RS11. New job good? Yes, it is. For those of you who don't know, the reason I was not live last week is because last Tuesday I started the new job, new full-time job. It's been, tomorrow will be my, first full week will have been completed. And it's been fantastic. It's been a really, really good experience so far. Great people I'm working with, doing some work that I'm really enjoying. And yeah, it's been great. So I've been really enjoying going to work. It's a bit of a commute. It's about an hour 20 drive each direction. But it's okay, because eventually I will wind up moving down that way. I am traveling out you are out traveling one more week, then you have a project to work on when you get home. Something for my budding layout. Ooh, cool. Better me than you. What am I using to remove the lettering width? So what I'm doing is I'm putting on Walther's Solve Set. Basically just putting a nice layer on there. Letting it sit for a bit to kind of eat into the decal, and then I just have, this is just a 16th inch square of balsa wood or basswood stick that I'm using just to basically add pressure to pull the basically gently scrape the paint off. And the wood is perfect for that because it's soft enough that it's not going to damage the paint underneath, but it's also firm enough that it will be nice and, you know, it nice and readily pulls the painted and printed out on lettering off. Seriously, glad you like the work. Thank you, Giuseppe. Congrats. Thank you, Steve. Really appreciate it. Ted says I'm young enough to handle the commute. Yeah, true. True. Hey, Billy and or Danny. Whichever of you is in the chat tonight, good to see you. Good to have you here. Subaru is my friend with commuting. Yes, indeed. Let's put that in there. And then let's also get the number boards while I'm at it. And then we just got to jump around to the far side and do that side, and I'll be able to move on to the actual work we want to do tonight. Billy, cool. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you've been well. At some point, you will need an address to mail me something. We got to figure out a way to talk off-platform then. I don't know if you have a Facebook or anything, but if you do, probably the easiest way to get us in touch would be to reach out to the BNCCS Facebook page, and then I can get in touch with you from my personal page from there. So, let's see. Billy asks, "Are these Rapido ones?" No. These are. I wish they were. You know, that'd be pretty neat if these were Rapido ones, because it would mean I have a pre-sample of the RDC2, because this one right here is an RDC2. Now these are the old Kato ones. I got these from Garrett as payment for weathering his Finger Lakes Railway's caboose 201R, and of course I think 201R is what we said. Whichever one, 202R or 201R. One of them he paid for with these RDCs, and the other one he won as a giveaway back in November for the big diabetes awareness fundraiser streams that I was running back then. And I plan on running again this year. You know, it's still a ways off, but I'm starting to think of some more fun incentives for you folks, because last year you guys absolutely crushed the fundraising goal, and I gotta, you know, start thinking now to figure out what I'm gonna do for you guys to thank you for all of that. As we look towards this year, because last year was kind of awkward. My initial goal was 1K, and we hit that like within the first like couple hours of my big stream. And then it was like, well, now I got to figure out some other incentives to incentivize folks to keep going. So I'm working on figuring out some fun things for that this year. Of course, Giuseppe says, perfect. If you touch base with me on there, then we can go from there. Haven't been paying attention to the RDC2s since they didn't make the Reading ones. Gotcha. Yeah, I have to put in my pre-order. I think I got to do that probably this week. I'm not going to get a Rapido RDC2 because I have the RDC2 from the new Kato, and on top of that, the New Haven only had 2 RDC2s, number 120 and number 121. So instead of an RDC2, I'm going to be pre-ordering an RDC3, which was... The difference between the 2 and the 3s is very minimal. Basically, the difference is, while the RDC2 is passenger segment with a baggage compartment, the RDC3s, it replaces the baggage compartment with an RPO compartment. And the New Haven had 7 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So... And once I have the RDC3, I will have at least one example excuse me, of all the types of RDCs that the New Haven had. Because I'll have both my Kato and Rapido RDC1s. I will have the Kato RDC2. I'll have the Rapido RDC3. And I'll have the Kato RDC4. And that'll be pretty neat. Alright, that side is good. I'm gonna put this side, put the what's it called? Solvaset on this side to soak. And then I'm gonna start getting myself all set up to work on these handrails for this GP9R. Excuse me. All right, so let's get myself set up here for this this GP9. I'm gonna actually slide the camera this way a little bit. That way it's a little easier for folks to see. Let's take that off. Take this out carefully. And I am going to have to figure out a better storage solution for this unit because I've already had some things get busted in transit. So I'm going to have to figure out a better way to kind of protect the cab area up here. And, you know, it is partially my fault. Because I know really what keeps getting busted is the horn. And I knew that was going to be a problem because I got a very fine scale detail. It's the Gotham Rail Marine RSL 3LR, and luckily I have a spare one that I can install, but it is pretty fragile with a lot of the details. So as you can see, there's only one chime remaining on this horn. So got that set up. Let's grab out my, let's see, there's my soldering iron. Cut the rigid foam large and use the soft foam around the locomotive. Yeah. There's a bunch of companies that make replacement packaging that's a lot nicer than the hard foam. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I really don't need to keep it in this box. I'll probably will just get a better box at some point soon. Short term, I thought it was a fun novelty getting having the original box for it because it's such a, you know, relatively cheap locomotive, being a Walters train line that I've detailed the heck out of. But what am I looking for? But it's not something I really need to keep around. But in any case, packaging aside, what was I looking for? I got this. I have the locomotive. I have the started handrail. What was the other thing I needed? Need to finish dinner and get ready for bed. These early mornings are a pain, but it's money. Yep, true. True that. I feel that. certainly feel that nowadays, you know. With the almost hour and a half commute, I'm out the door by 7 a.m. at the latest, which is a big change for me. I'm not a morning person, so it's taken some slow building up when I learned I got the job until when I got that schedule. I'm looking for the flux. That's what I'm looking for. Where did I put it? I thought it was in my electronics book here, but it appears that it is not. So where did it wind up? You did pick up about 10. You pick up about 10 Walthers 60-foot container flats on sale. Nice. There's my flux. It rolled off the bench. All right, so that means we should be all set up here. Get my kickstand there. Put the locomotive here. Set this up on the kickstand. Plug in the iron. Now we've got the solder, we've got flux, we've got the handrail, we've got stanchions here. Someone should do 3D printed handrails in super strong flexible material. That would be nice. Especially in N scale, that would be nice. But oh, these are the Sinclair. Right. Once I get myself set up here, I will get the camera fixed up. All right, let's do a little bit of scrubbing on this. Oh, wonderful. That camera seems to have broken. All right, well, let's fix that. Am I making soldered brass handrails? That I am. Deactivate, activate. There we go. Yes, we are. I'm using KV model stanchions and 012 brass wire. Which I need to get some more 012 brass wire. I still have some, but I don't know that I have enough to finish this locomotive anymore because I used it to make handrails, or grab irons rather, for my Amtrak 4316 model in N scale. Let's finish cleaning off this RDC here. Once the RDC is cleaned off, we can jump full force into these handrails. So what's everyone else been working on recently? Got a cool train documentary in the works. Ooh, fantastic. Working on a throttle kit. Oh, well, first of all, welcome in, Jeff. Good to have you here. And that sounds nice. Not going to say too much until everything is locked in, which should be August. That's fair, yeah. But look forward to hearing more, hopefully come August then. But that sounds very exciting. Let's see, Teddy's working on cleaning the workbench. It's a disaster. I know that feeling. I gotta give a good deep clean to my desk here as well. I always get it just clean enough to where it's, you know, usable, and then I've never gotten further beyond that. Billy's actually working on some HO scale stuff for once, so I haven't fully converted you yet. Giuseppe's working on military flat car loads for someone in Canada using 3D printed LEV 25s. Ooh, now that sounds interesting. I almost went to a clinic on military flat cars. I think they were DODX 40 something thousand. I don't know. But I almost went to that clinic at the NERPM, but instead I went to a different one, but I don't remember what it was at this point. Garrett is slowly plucking away at the Arco OCS cars 23 and 24 and Fingerlick 203 and working on the Foamer throttle. And also working his way through physics. Not too bad, but it's a lot of work. Well, that's good that it's not too bad. That's good to hear. Chris Scott, welcome in. How you doing? It's been going good. Any new collections, locomotives for my collection? Not recently. I have some pre-orders that should be here before too long. I know I've got a Scale Trains pre-order that should come. I can't remember if it's June or July. So either this month or next month. That should be coming. I think that was for my Penn Central GP40, which is going to get patched out to the BNCCS. Other than that, well, technically, I do have a new locomotive here, but it's not going to stay mine. I'm going to resell it because it's not, excuse me. It's not the right era or locale for me, but I have this Rapido BC Rail Draper Taper Dash 8 that I got in a mystery box a few weeks back. But like I said, it's not the right era, not the right locale for me, so I'm going to be reselling it on. But it is very nice. Garrett's hoping to have 23 and 24 painted for the end of July. Cool. Billy's working with, messing with the track plan in Trenton. Nice. Zippy's adding stowage items to them, scratch built stuff, chains, chain binders, etc. Very nice. Also reorganize your N-scale and HO scale rosters. Kind of want to get a new HO engine at some point. Nice. I will always advocate for more Alcos. I have no idea how that fits into your roster, but I will always and forever advocate for more Alcos. So, can't bring yourself to weather your N-scale sharks. Are they who made them. When were they made? Because I'm trying to think. I know that there's the old what are they, ER models or whatever sharks, but I don't remember. I think BLI recently came out with some in N scale, but I don't remember. So, but weathering a nice piece is always a struggle to get yourself there. So I understand that for sure. Alcos are cool, yes, but you're heavily leaning towards an ACU. Ooh. You're gonna get one of the heritage, the military ACUs that Kato just put out for CP. You actually want to get one of the new Kato ACUs? Yeah. Yep, it is an ABA set. Ooh. Nice. What railroad are they for? Are they for the Central? Are they for the Pensy? Are they for B&O? Monongahela? At this point, I'm just curious because sharks are nice locomotives. If I had a way to justify sharks, I would probably pick up one. But it just doesn't make sense, and I'm trying really hard to stay, you know, pretty tightly leashed on what I actually get. Trying to keep those guardrails strong. Pensy, nice. If I need some sharks, you know a guy. Ooh. Oh. Alright, I need to finish this up here. I could always model the Pennsylvania Railroad. I could also not do that, ever. I could take this nice Pennsylvania Railroad boxcar here and weather it further. I could do that. You have no Pensy stuff, but could not resist a set of sharks. Yeah. That's like, what do I have that's like that? I know I have a thing or two that are like that. Well, it's like I've got the 20th Century Limited. I don't have a single other, I mean, I have like one or two other things of New York Central stock, just, you know, weathered and beaten down for, you know, my 70s and 80s stuff. But otherwise, I don't model the Central. I model the New Haven and the BNCCS. And also, that is now officially done. So I'm going to put that in the back here, and we can start getting to work on this Jeep. So let me get this set up here. This is the right side that I'm doing, right? Well, the left side, but just like you would like a nice T1. That's something that is extreme. Not the Pensy T1s, not the duplexes, but I've always been kind of tempted to pick up one of the AFT 1 models from BLI that they had. A set of sharks in Santa Fe War Bonnet scheme? Well, if you're in the War Bonnet scheme, you know, there are some sharks that wore the War Bonnet. It just wasn't quite red and silver. I know my D&H friends out there will appreciate that. The thing that I am really heavily debating, and those same teenage friends are about to hate me for saying this. Although not Banu, maybe. Because I know he has similar inclinations from time to time. But I have a saved search on eBay for SD26s because I think a fantastic train show consist would be a Guilford era consist with SD26 in Springfield Terminal paint with a, also I'm trying to find my tweezers and I can't find them. Springfield Terminal SD28, SD26, a Harvest Gold, Main Central GP40-2 or GP38, and maybe like a Bluebird B&M Jeep. I think that would be a killer consist for a train show. There we go. There they all go. Delaware and Hudson. I can't swim. Is that the right thickness here? I had to cut my foam down. I thought it was thin enough, but apparently it was not. No, it's still not. Wherever you live in Nasilla, New Mexico, suburb of Las Cruces. Could establish the old Nasilla line in this. You know? That doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. I would support that. That seems to be about right. And I still haven't found my tweezers, which I will need. So let me actually find those first before I do any other things. Oh, Messia. Okay. Gotcha. Yep, yeah, the Hispanic pronunciation. Yep. Messia. And Las Cruces. What? Where did this tweezers go? Where the heck did you put them? Could borrow yours if you knew where they were. Where the heck did I put them? Because I normally put them up there, but they are not up there. So where did they go? Where did they go? Did they fall on the ground? Maybe. I don't see them down here. Well, this is a problem. Excuse me. You know where? Yeah, that is true. At least I hope I will be by the time they arrive. Okay, so where did I put them then? I mean, I guess I could use my other set of tweezers, but they're just not as fine. think that might be what I have to do. I have to go to my backup tweezers. Okay. I can't believe I can't find them. Well, that stinks. Alright. Anyways. Just gonna bend this handrail a little bit better. Scrolling eBay was a bad idea. Do it, get an N scale finger like 2301 with DCC for one. Nice to see when someone actually soldering instead of CA gluing. And I do my fair share of CA gluing as well, to be fair. But, oh, I bent it the wrong direction. Damn it, I made it shorter and I needed to make it longer. I do plan on, unfortunately, if there were stanchions in N scale that aren't, you know, unobtainium, there were the old gold medal stanchions, but those haven't been made in decades, or at least a decade. So I'm stuck doing CA, but I do want to redo some handrails in N scale, and to do that I'm going to basically just use the existing stanchions, which means that I am going to have to CA, but I'm going to CA after. Basically the plan is to drill through the sides of the stand, cut the existing handrails off, sand them flush, cut through this drill through the side. Also, this is definitely just too thick. This is not going to work. I need to figure out something else. Maybe a piece of wood here. Is that too thick? This might be just right, actually. Scrolling eBay is always a bad idea. It's always a dangerous idea, I'll give you that. Whoa. That and Facebook Marketplace, yeah. I think you started on eBay in 96 or 97. Alright, there we go. Oh, and the camera is busted again. Why does it keep doing that? Hold on a minute. There we go. Now you folks can see what's going on here. Hopefully. Tweezers are right here. It's all settled into place here. The amount of camera stuff you found on there is decent, but still high prices. Your saved folders like thousands of items, yeah. Might have an item or 300 in your save. Yeah, I don't know how many items I have in my save. Probably a good 100, 150. Probably a lot of stuff I probably won't ever end up buying anyway. But Okay, let's I gotta actually step one is gonna be removing that stanchion because it's not quite soldered on right. Put my flux on there. Rookie numbers add more zeros. Can you even see this? There you go. Excuse me. Do I have any clay? I can put a blob over the stanchion base to hold it. That is smart. Do I have any clay? I have... Oh, you know what I have? Oh, goodness. Well, that was stupid. I almost just burned myself. I don't have clay, but I do have putty. So it's intended as masking putty. I got it when I was trying to make some more rounded it's more like rounded paint jobs, but it just didn't wind up working well because I couldn't quite get it to hold the right shape. But finally made it to the hotel and have audio. Welcome in then, Paul. Good to see you. Hope you enjoyed your time in Conneaunt. I hope you enjoy your time tomorrow morning even better. Or tomorrow, just tomorrow, period. That right there. That right there. You have switched New Trenton. Fantastic. Switch as well then, I presume? You always have Fimu clay around for sculpting things. I will have to pick some of that up then. Bring this a little closer to me, that way I can work on it a little easier. Also switch the side of the stanchion that I'm actually grabbing here. I think that did it. Let's find out. Release this here. Let's see. John, welcome in. Good to see you. Billy says, yep, now able to run. Have a train running around while you dodge around it. That sounds like fun. Having non-hardening clay is worth having around too. Okay, cool. Okay, so this stanchion is in the right place now. but it is just not quite in the right angle. I'm going to take a little more of my putty here and use it to hold the wire in place on the rear step here. There we go. Okay, so now I should be able to do like this. And there we have it. Now I can putty that in place. And we can start making our way along the hood here and adding in the other stanchions. Which is excellent. The hard part is going to be getting the stanchions to work with the battery boxes, I think. I think it's at the right height, but I can't quite be sure until I get there. Alright. Stanchions, I put them right here somewhere. There they are. Got them. Let's pull them out here. Okay. Alright, let's trim a couple of these out. Do I have my nippers? Yes, I do. You've created the self-contained N-scale starter set. You sold one this weekend at a train show in Arnprior, Ontario. Awesome. That's fantastic. What's in the set? Is it like, you know, like an Atlas Arcata locomotive, I'm presuming, with, what's it called? So Microtrains cars and what? Cattle track? Or something like that? There are a few parts where you need to use the main for cars, but if you redesign it a bit, you could make it almost completely separate, but you're not sure if that takes away from the fun. Yeah, that's always the hard part, is figuring out, you know, what's hard enough to be, you know, challenging and add to the fun, and what's too hard and what's too easy. You know, kind of figuring that out is kind of the balancing act of setting up a switching area, at least in my experience. Let's roll this back over. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go maybe here. I want to do something kind of in the middle here to get, oops. Okay, we've lost our grip here, so let's fix that. Come on. Get this out of here. You'll be posting a video of the show shortly. There'll be a shot of the set. Cool. I look forward to seeing that then. John? Stay there. Dang you. Alright, let's get some flux on the wire and some flux on the stanchion. break out the solder here. Put it on the tip of my iron. A little bit on the stanchion. I'm gonna putty it again. I'm gonna go right here. Come on, you son of a gun. There we go. Alright, let's get some more solder on there then, I guess. It's not enough to hold yet. Good. Let's reset this stanchion again. Here we go. Excellent. Good, good, good. See you around, Garrett. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Always good to chat with you. Have a good one, my friend. Pardon me. All right, next stanchion. Nippers are right here. Might be easier to drop the rail down and mark the stanchion's locations than lay it out on the soldering brick, laying flat and solder them to the rail. Maybe. I don't know. This seems to be okay. Because this way I know for sure I'm getting everything at the right height by actually having it in the holes that they need to go into. I think I'm going to do this one next. Excuse me. I think part of the problem is also that this wire is not bent at the right angle. Let me grab these here. That's better. Okay, good. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you tonight, Ed. Hope you're doing well. Once soldered, you can take a measurement for the height, mark the lead and trail stanchion, and use a straight edge across the base end. True. At this point, I'm starting to get a feel for how to do this, though. So I think I might stick with this now that I've kind of gotten into a groove. I appreciate the suggestions, though. I really do. It does sound like a great suggestion. Once I get started in a certain way, I tend to like to stick to it. At least through, one set. So, I'll try this for this one set of stanchions. Was this stanchion was also supposed to be this length, or was that supposed to be the shorter length stanchion? I can't recall. On the phone again, finishing up putting a chair together. Back of the old one is getting out. Ah. Oh, where'd that go? Oh, be quiet, you blood sugar alarm, you. There's the stanchion. Okay. Man, I gotta get back to doing more weathering as well. I need to get back to the show's roots because I have so many weathering projects that need to happen. Still have all of Corey's cars that need to get done. Okay, so this does seem like it would be appropriate to have this. Okay. Pull this off and reseat it here. Look at that, I even got that one kind of wedged in place already, so that one should be fairly easy to solder. Beautiful. That one went well. I wonder if I can try and do that for the rest of the ones I do. I think I need to readjust this last one in line here as well. Need to get it aligned a little better. That's better. There we go. Okay, so now we're really getting somewhere here. Let me get my wick and just clean up a little bit of the end here. Buy stools, never have to worry about a chair back again. You know, that is true. That's funny. Ah, shucks. Trying to suck up some of this extra solder that's on this joint. Much better. Excellent. All right, next stanchion we go. Grab my nippers. Yeah, I'm really getting into a groove of this now. The hard part is going to be once this row of stanchions is done, I'm gonna have to cut the wire and shape the wire for another segment of handrail, and I gotta figure out how I did that again because it's been a while since I did this first segment here. 1, 2, 3 more stanchions here, and I've got one cut out already, so let's do that. True, however, one can't fall asleep on stool without going to the floor. That's true. Lash is always the easiest. Yeah, because it'll hold the rest in place. Sure you can, just make sure you lean forward onto the bar. There you go. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, once a few get done, everything becomes so much easier here. Grab this. Let's do this one right here, I think, next. Oh, come on. There we go. Where did my tweezers go? There. That would be the space bar. Oh, you guys are too funny tonight. Cracking me up. This is why I hate these tweezers for something like this. These are reverse tweezers, so I squeeze to release. But something delicate like this, I would like to squeeze to hold. That way I can release very softly. Not have to worry about it. Those rails gonna be done in high vis safety stripe. They're gonna get yellow. Yeah, they're gonna be. They're gonna be, well, they might be white. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think they're gonna do white for high vis. Nope, that's not where you're supposed to stick. There we go. That one's in place. Yep, good. Would say we are here all night, but now I work early. Yeah, me too. I don't know if you heard, Ed, but I'm full-time employed again. I gotta drive about an hour 20 each direction, though, to get to work, so I'm early riser nowadays. I gotta be out the door before 7, so all night work Monday, all night model work Monday nights is a thing of the past for me. Carefully shape the stanchion. Up where I live, The handrail should probably just be done in rust. Nah, this unit, this unit, excuse me, is gonna get a little dirty, but it'll be less than 10 years out of the shop for the rebuild. Not high-vis chartreuse. Yeah, we'll do it up in neon pink. Oh, I never bent the bottom pin of the stanchion. Let me do that. There we go. Dang it. Alright, let's reset here. From what I've seen, in that part of the country, it could be rusty in 3 months. BNCCS does an okay job of maintaining their equipment, I would like to think. Especially given the fact that it's a circus certified locomotive. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, we lost another handrail. Where did the other one go? There was another one here, wasn't there? Yeah, there it is. I see it. Must not have had enough solder on it. Alright, well, let's get that one. Let's finish getting this one in place. And then we'll do that one again. Again, why I hate using these tweezers for this job. Go. Apparently the BTCS buys a lot of paint. There you go. Jeffrey, when he made the handrails for his U18B, he folded the stanchions around the wire while off the loco, then slid them into place with the soldering iron. That's not a bad idea either. Maybe I'll have to rethink how I'm doing. Maybe between Jeppy's and your suggestions, maybe I'll have to rethink how I do the other side of the unit. Release. Thank you. Where's my, there it is. The grass will come. You also did more solder than wicked off the excess. Okay. Welcome to the Buy More Tools group. Yep. Always, always. There we go. Just make sure these are all settled nicely down. Oh boy. Now I've done it. There we go. Now we're settled in. More tools, more trains, decisions. Yeah. The question of the century. More tools or more trains? Okay, and one last stanchion here, and then this set will be done. Hard to have one without the other. Truth indeed. Okay. I think the goal for tonight is going to be I'm going to finish this row of stanchions and grabs and handrails, and then I think I might jump back over to my RDCs and do a little more decaling. Where did my... There's my nippers. And then we'll have completed a little bit of both projects. Your next tool is going to be resistance soldering unit. Ooh. Those are fancy. More trains and tools with less money. Can make your own from a 650 watt power supply. Oh, interesting. we have it. One full set of GP9R grab irons. Ta-da! I'm excited to see that. That makes me happy to see. Let me unplug the soldering iron here before I melt anything on accident. But that's super exciting because that's finally forward progress on this project that's been stalled out for a little while because I've never gotten around to continuing. But let me get a couple more decals on these RDCs, and then or at least the RDC 1, and then I think we will call it a night there. Hopefully hopefully the other side gets done before the unit gets put in retirement. That's hilarious. No, I'm hoping to have these this unit totally done in the next month or so. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the hope is to have this unit done in the next month or so, fully done. And that includes all the grabs, and then I've got some more detail parts to add. I want to put on AC unit on the cab. I want to put on where's my all my detail parts go? Did I put them all back away? I gotta put on Sinclair antennas. I gotta put on mirrors. Where did I thought maybe I put them back in here. No, I did definitely out somewhere. Where did I put them? Oh, I put them down here in the box. What else do I need? Windshield wipers, MU cables. Oh, I gotta put the ditch lights in. I'm gonna need some help doing that, but yeah, I gotta fix the freaking horn. But I think that'll be the last thing I do. What else? Sunshades. I think that's it for now. I think that's because I got most of the detail parts on before painting. It's really just these last ones that I need to do after painting. Snow shovel and the walkway. Some fun details like that would be neat at some point to get around to that. That would definitely be neat. A cat in the cab. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. Get some mini prints going. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna put that up here out of the way. Let me actually let's clear out of the way there. Okay, what do I need? Oh, I need to go get some water for the decals. Let me go grab some water for the decals, and then I'll be right back in just a moment. And then we can get some decals on this RDC1, maybe get it fully decaled, and then we'll be done for the night. Alright, what kind of shenanigans did you folks get up to here while I was away. When new weather, I want to see paw prints on the hood. That actually would be a really interesting and fun detail. You know, you may just have sold me on actually putting a cat in the cab. You may have just sold me with that idea of that detail. That would be fantastic, actually, because I could probably do that with the 3D, but depending on the fidelity of the 3D print, I could probably do that with the cat. All right, let's excuse me. Take this piece out of the X-Acto handle. Put this one in the blade itself. Use the neck size up a big cat. There we go. Yeah, we get a Maine Coon. We got a Maine Coon in the cab. Use an S scale 3D print. Decals right here. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, these RDCs are going to be New Haven units. I've already started on the RDC 1 here. We got the script logo on the nose and on the side here. We've also got the Fight Cancer sword on there. We're going to put the New Haven and the number, and then the numbers in the number boards. So let's get to work on that. Come on, decal. Get out of there. There we go. Back when you modeled the 125 semis, you used to make little McDonald's bags and drink cups for the interior. That would be cool. Taco Bell. Live mas. Oh, be quiet, you. There's no need for all of that. Let me grab my reference here. Make sure I'm getting the decal in the right location, because I have a mental image of where it belongs, but I want to make sure. Another tool suggestion is stainless steel surgical scalpel and a few types of blades. There we go. Okay. If this is the Northeast Dunkin' Donuts, yeah, there we go. Get some dunks in there. Little DDs. definitely makes sense with the being CCS, especially in the 05 era, being primarily a New England road. Crews gotta have their dunks. Be just inhumane to not have their dunks. The blades hold an edge well and are thinner and sharper than X-Acto. Not much money off eBay or even Amazon. I've had very good luck with the blades holding their edge on. I have the X-Acto the Z series blades, and I got this. I think this was like $30 for 100 blades, and I've had it for almost a year now, year and a half now. So that's been doing pretty well for me. But I might look into a scalpel and just to give it a try. Welcome, Lord Cubbo. Welcome in. Good to see you tonight. I hope you're doing well. I'm working on getting this New Haven RDC1 decaled. So I'm actually, Cubbo, I'm not weathering anything tonight. I do a lot of weathering, but this week I'm actually not doing any weathering. This week I'm primarily an N scale, but I do some HO work as well every now and again. So tonight, I spent most of my time tonight. You're unfortunately joining right towards the end of my stream every Monday night, 9 to 11. But we just finished up making some brass handrails for my custom decorated GP9R rather, my custom rebuild here. So we soldered the brass stanchions onto the fine brass wire here. So that was what I was working on for most of stream. There it is. But I am primarily an N scale, and I'm working right now on decaling this RDC, which is, there it is. Now it's in stream. Let me actually zoom in on it a little more. Now that I'm working in N scale, I can. Excuse me. There we go. You an N scaler as well? Fantastic. Okay, so that decal's on. Now we need to cut out the next one. Pardon me. This is RDC1, and I was gonna go with 44 was the number I was going to put on this one. Yeah, it is. It's a nice model. I did a lot of custom work on it. Between custom paint and a whole lot of decal work, or detail work rather. I did that live on stream, a lot of that live on stream, back towards December and January. Excuse me. So what do you model, Cubbo? Do you model any railroad in particular, any era in particular, or do you just kind of collect and run some trains? Just got into the hobby and you're going with N scale as it fits your constraints, thinking of doing unit track from Kato. You haven't picked anything up yet, you're still doing research. Highly recommend unit track, especially if you don't plan on having anything super permanent for a while. And even if you do plan on having something permanent, unit track is a fantastic choice. Some of the most durable, certainly the most durable sectional track out there in N scale. So highly recommend that. Paint. Oh yeah, you have to get that custom GG1 and Union Pacific scheme done, the 250th USA version. That is a heck of a thing. You'll have to share pictures of that when it's done, because that sounds like a feast for the eyes. Go 44 in its place, and then we just need the number board numbers. 344. No error yet. You're going to try and reproduce the Evangelion Unit 0 models, as Bandai has a 1/160 version, which would fit with Kato, you were thinking. Cool. So you're gonna try and stick mostly with that kind of Evangelion theme, then? Build a T-track diagram of the trains and sniper scene from Evangelion. Cool. Yeah, T-track is fantastic. I am also an avid fan of T-track. I do much more prototype, real train based scenes and things. So I have almost 7 feet of, I have 8 feet of T-track modules. Most of which, 7 of those 8 feet, are based on a real prototype scene of Hopewell Junction, New York. With a scratch-built version of the Hopewell Depot, which was the small train depot that was there in town, and a whole bunch of detailed stuff that something else I need to get back to working on is my T-track modules. But T-track is a fantastic modular form, especially if you're just getting started. Yes, Billy can attest to the fun of T-track as well. I sure did. I got you in. Well, really, Paul more than anyone. Paul kind of kicked that off. I'm just holding you to it. There we go. Excuse me. I sold you on it. Nice. Glad I could feed your addiction. I mean, be a positive influence. So someone did a whole 4x4 module size of mini Tokyo. That's all T-track compliant. That's your dream. Sweet. There's a lot of folk who model, especially in N-scale, but in all scales, who model Japanese-based trains. So you're in good company in the model railroading world if you want to focus on Japan. Even, I don't know where you're based, but I'm assuming you're in North America. But there's a lot of North Americans who model Japan. We need to truck lord. We have train dealers. Exactly. Just as expensive. Get that decal off of the tweezers. Come on. What time is it? 10:54. You could tell grocery stores are getting lost in the Tokyo subway system. Oh boy. You're in California based, you have tons of places, and it's an issue. I have a friend here in the Northeast who is, I'm trying to remember where his layout is based on, but he's built a fairly large layout based on Japanese railroading in the kind of transition era. The steam to diesel transition era of the 1960s. I think he's modeling Hokkaido, but I can't remember if that's. I know at one point he was planning on modeling Hokkaido. I don't remember if he definitively landed on Hokkaido or if he went with another province, but regardless, his layout is very cool, and I can't wait. I haven't seen it in person yet, but I can't wait for the day that I do, because he's figured out like an operating scheme for it too and everything, which is cool. So, all right, let me get the okay, let's get the actually, yeah, let's get the decals on the end of the RDC here, and then I need to pull out the paint. Chair is finished. We'll plug it in tomorrow and test the heat and massaging functions. Ooh, a bit over bit too gadgety for you, but it was on sale and cheaper than the non-powered ones. You know what? You take those, and if it all works, even better. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get these decals on, and then we're gonna call it a night here, because I do need to go get ready for work in the morning. You're stuck on wiring and picking DCC or normal DC. You want to hear the difference between the two before you full send down one. You need to get some food, so ciao for now. Sounds good, Giuseppe. Thanks for tuning in. Always good to chat with you, and look forward to hearing more from you. See you around, my friend. Cubbo. So, DCC versus DC. I'm not the best person to describe this, but the major differences between DCC and DC is with DC, you're basically just increasing the voltage to the tracks. So as you turn your throttle up, there'll be more electricity flowing to the tracks, which means your train will move faster. It's fairly simple. You don't have to worry about any complex electronics. You don't have to worry about getting computer chips in all of your locomotives, your decoder, DCC decoders, any of that. You don't have to worry about that. But sometimes wiring can be a little more difficult. If you have a larger layout, you have to wire in blocks. Otherwise, if you turn the power up, all your trains will start moving at once. You can't have individual control over an individual engine. with DCC, you got to make sure you have the decoder in there, and you got to make sure that everything's wired right. It is actually fairly simple wiring. For the most part, it's just running a pair of wires, one for each rail. But the big benefit to DCC is if you have like 3, 4, 5 locomotives, whatever, on the track, you can dial up with your control. You can dial up each individual one. And you can have 5 locomotives sitting there on the track, but only have one move. The other big thing that DCC allows you to do is have sound. You can technically have sound in DC, but it is it's not as you don't have the control over it that you do it with DCC. So those are the big pluses and minuses of DC versus DCC. Excuse me. That would be my what's it called? 2 cents. Time to hit the hay. An hour plus commute is rough. Be careful on your drive. Will do. Thank you. I will be hitting the hay in any minute now. I just got to get this this last decal on tonight, and then I'll be done. But I will see you around, Ed. Have a good night yourself. You'll lean more to DCC if you want to have sound and the whole Evangelion effects and train power stations. So, well, I guess when I talk about sounds, I mean the sounds on the trains themselves. For just general, sounds and lights and stuff on the models, not the train models themselves, but the scenery and all that you could do in either. The other thing with DCC versus DC is DCC tends to be a bit more expensive because you have to have the computer chip in there, and that's an extra expense. So that is something else to keep in mind. And DC is not compatible with DCC. If you have an engine that doesn't have a DCC decoder in it, it's just DC. You can't use it on DCC. So it is, kind of a higher barrier of entry. I basically agree with what Ed's saying. When you get started, when you're first getting into things, I would recommend sticking with DC. It'll get you started in the hobby. It'll let you kind of settle in and kind of get a feel for things. And then once you're into the hobby and you're in a good, competent place with things, then you can make the jump to DCC, because it's not a difficult thing to add in after the fact. At least not too difficult for the most part. So that would be, I would agree with the 2 cents from Ed. Get that Fight Cancer emblem on there, and then we will call it a night myself as well. So yeah, unfortunately, Cubbo, you hopped in right here at the end of my stream. I stream 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're out in California, that would be what, 5 to 7 p.m. What time is it now? Is it 7 p.m. now out there? Did I do that math right? I don't know. But that's the 2-hour window I stream in every Monday night. So unfortunately, caught me right at the end here this week, but hopefully you'll be able to catch some more. You can always watch back the replay. Yeah, you don't have to pick it right away. You can retrofit. Some people recommend picking right away and then just going all in on it, but it's not too difficult to transition from DC to DCC. So, anyways, I think that's about right. So we got our DC, all of our decals on here. We got the Fight Cancer and the New Haven script logo. We've got the 44s up in the number boards. We got the 44 on the stainless number board in the center. We got the New Haven across the top. And we've got the script logo over here. So that is it for tonight. Thank you folks all so much for tuning in. It's always fun to hang out and chat with you all and hang out, have fun. But I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I will see you all on the next track.